has set the bar high in his first 2 seasons in charge here. Led by Callum Gibbons. The Glasgow Warriors make their home return. And there aren't too many options to make wholesale changes for Dave Rennie, but Kieran McDonald comes into the second row for his first start in 11 months. At 8, Matt Fagerson makes his 50th appearance for the Warriors. 2 further changes come in the backs, where Stafford McDowell and Rory Jackson are welcome back. Brandon Thompson was the man of the match the last time these 2 teams met, and he starts back-to-back games for the first time for the Warriors. George Clancy is the man in charge, and we are almost ready to go. Perfect conditions in Glasgow. It's a mouth-watering matchup. Glasgow Warriors and Scarlets have a habit of putting on some remarkable contests. What will round 2 of this season's Guinness Pro 14 produce? We're about to find out. Well, straight away into the action. We have a line out in the Scarlets 22.
We do. We mentioned Glasgow needs to start big, especially off the back of the loss last week down in South Africa. So they're going to want a high energy, big start, naturally a big defence as well.
Yeah, they took their time to get out of the change room, didn't they? A lot of words probably being spoken there. There's one thing you can guarantee, this Glasgow team will be up for it, but so will the Scarlets. After a great win last week against Connacht. They come here full of confidence. They're playing good rugby, a new coach, new ideas. They'll be confident.
So first set for the front rows to become acquainted. No love lost between them. 18-10, Scarlets were winners in West Wales against Connacht. Warriors shipped 48 points in South Africa. The review, Dave Rennie said, was brutal this week.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
So they go again with the scrum. A bit more solid and not clear by Dan Jones, but Kyle Sane keeps it in play. Rory Jackson looks to counter, thinks he's seen a gap. He got through the first one. Kasim managed to get his hands on him though. Brandon Thompson starts at 10 again.
Pillar now, pillar.
It's how Glasgow manage this halfway line. They don't want to play too much, exhaust all their energy. Whether they've got a kicking game today. Scarlett's very good on the counter-attack as well. It's a decision-making around Thompson at 10.
Darcy Ray hit hard there. Oh, and Jackson has presented that one straight to Tom James, and they might be able to work this one, the Scarlets. And it's with McNichol, the danger man. Steve Cummins now in the second row for the Scarlets. A gift from Rory Jackson as Rob Evans takes over. Kieran Hardy, a bit of indecision from him, and Rob Harley is the one to profit. So both sides coughing up easy possession. And Rory Jackson can find wide open space.
Yeah, loads of space there. It's such a high tempo start. It's a long phase of play this. Guys will be tired, they'll be blowing. It's exactly what you want.
Back it!
Steff Evans, another of this dangerous trio for Scarlets. High it goes from the scrum half, Kieran Hardy, taken in by Rory Jackson, who's had to field plenty of ball in these opening exchanges.
Release now!
This time it's Ollie Kebble, recently signed a new contract to keep him here for another 3 years. Long it goes from Brandon Thompson. 24 points when these teams met in December, which was a very, very interesting contest. Alex Allen sent off inside the opening quarter of the game, but the Warriors managed to rally.
Oh, they'll be desperate for that, all the players. You know, the kick chase for the first kick-off, Dan Jones there, was really pacey. But then, what is that? Nearly 3 minutes of play there. You could tell the players were tired. They'd be glad of this line-up. But that man there, huge weight on his shoulders today, just to put the Scarlets in the right position and make the right decisions. He's had a lot more experience. He'll feature a lot this year.
Scarlets, bring it forward.
Can really set his back line alight.
It'll be interesting to see how Scarlets play it as well, Shanks. They're going to know that Glasgow are going to be up for the fight in defence. They know that they're going to want to tackle. So we might see Scarlets kick a lot more just to take that sting out of Glasgow, especially here at home, knowing the emotion's going to be high off the back of last week.
And we'll see how the development goes with Scarlets over time. There was an overthrow that was taken by Grant Stewart, but his pass behind the advancing Warriors backline, eventually it was Stafford McDowell who's the man in the blank jersey.
Yeah, you can see Ashworth there coming off the line really quickly, trying to stop Glasgow playing that wide game. You know, that's how Tom James got a first intercept of Rory Jackson there. Line speed is key today for the Scarlets.
It's really exciting, isn't it? The Guinness Pro 14 in the shadows maybe of the World Cup going on, but round one was fantastic, and we can see, you can feel the energy tonight, you can hear the buzz on the pitch, the line speed. Yeah, we're seeing a penalty here for not rolling away.
The big thing with line speed is, you know, you've got to do it all the way through the game. It's tiring running up, running back all the time, like rugby league, off the line, back again, backpedaling, off the line again. It's all well and good doing it in the first 5 minutes, but you've got to do it in the 75th minute as well.
Stay in the 15.
Rob Harley with the take for Warriors. Now here comes Rory Hughes. He's a big man to stop coming off his left wing for Glasgow Warriors. Callum Gibbons takes it on now for the home side. Stewart waits for his moment, but there was an accidental offside in there.
Scrum, red ball.
Yeah, I think it was Tim Swinson running into the back of Rob Harley. That's the fine line, isn't it, between being aggressive, but to want to take the game to the opposition. You've also got to be composed, you've got to be controlled. And they've got to roll on there. You know, good break, Rory Hughes half break in traffic, but then it went slow, tried to build momentum again. And that man, Rob Harley, was running to...
It was a good initial set piece, wasn't it? Rory Hughes bursting over the line. Then they just get a little bit lost, don't they? This is where you have to be a little bit patient. Do the basics well. Narrow up a defence and then you strike.
See Glasgow going for the shove. Bit of handbags, heightened emotions in this game, like we mentioned. You can't do anything now anyway, just a bit of grabbing and look angry.
Step away.
You made a career out of it.
That's why I'm here. That's my legacy.
Captains.
Never saw you in there.
Captains. Captain.
Well, and George Clancy just deciding now's the time to have a word with the two captains, Steff Hughes and Callum Gibbons.
The whistle fellas have ended up in each other's faces. That can't continue for the match. So someone's going to get penalised now. So I'll give you the opportunity to deal with it, okay?
Bit of alpha in, isn't it? Alpha mailing.
And George Clancy as well. He doesn't mess around at scrum time. He's told them now. He said, you can see both packs heightened emotion. I just said that then.
Okay.
But Clancy doesn't take any messing around scrum. So if this isn't steady,
I'm looking for that stability. The last one you're in too early. Both teams in too early. You need to maintain that stability before I say set.
Yeah, so I mean, it's clear. I don't know if you can hear that through the TV. He's just looking for stability. So if Glasgow do try and put on that extra bit of weight or an extra shove to try and get that ball back, if I was them, I'd just hold the anchor down.
Set.
Probably result in a line out for them.
Glasgow do get a shove on. And it was almost picked up by Frisbee. It has come back to Thompson. One against the head in the opposition 22. There's penalty advantage for offside coming as well.
Yeah, this is so often where you see the little chip over, just over that try line.
The ferocity that Glasgow are clearing these rucks. They're up for the fight. Look how physical they are on the breakdowns.
It's there for Darcy Ray. After Tim Swinson's big carry.
There, no problem, but the initial offence is the offside. Penalty here.
What a huge scrum there by Glasgow, wasn't it? Did look like Nick Frisbee knocked it on at the base. Referee didn't see it, you play on. But real physical carries there.
What's the decision,
from
Captain?
the Glasgow? There's got to be only one decision here.
Shot?
It was the polar opposite of what I said. I told Glasgow to hold the fort in the scrum.
Here's your mark.
That's why I'm not a coach, and they went for it, didn't they? They went full noise.
No.
That Scarlet scrum breaks up. Ollie Kebble's down, just getting a little bit of treatment.
Problem for the man from Durban, as Warriors are told to make their option, and Brandon Thompson, I think, is calling for the tee.
Yes,
it should be a straightforward 3 points. A very different Glasgow Warriors, even in these opening 9 minutes, from what we saw last week.
We just saw David Rennie there in shot. He was as frustrated as anyone with that loss, not just going down there to lose in Bloemfontein against a very good Cheetahs side, just the way that they did it.
So Brandon Thompson, 24 points in this fixture last season, and he gets the opening 3 of the contest. Inside 10 minutes, it's Glasgow Warriors 3, Scarlets 0.
It's been a really physical, high-paced first 10 minutes. That man there kicks 3 points after a real heavy scrum by the Glasgow pack.
And Rory Jackson takes that, and he was taken in the air. And that won't help the animosity between these teams, as Johnny McNichol went in for the tackle.
I think it was closer than it looked. The crowd here at Scotstoun made it sound maybe a little bit worse.
I mean, they both looked like they had their hands on the ball there when they landed.
An HIA replacement for Glasgow Warriors, leading the field, number 1, Ollie Kebbell.
Want to see this in the replay if we can. Here we go, it's the kickoff. Yeah, you know, that's nothing more than a penalty. That only really gets one hand linked to it, doesn't it? Nothing too dangerous, but what a threat that man McNichol is.
You happy, thrower?
A magical runner, the man from Christchurch. As the Warriors have made an HIA alteration with Ollie Kebbell going off and Alex Allen coming on, and the South African front row forward is not moving easily at all. On the other hand, the 15 Warriors out on the field are, and they're making good progress until Stafford McDowell smashed by Tom Phillips.
And that's the benefits of the blitz defence. If you get man and ball, you're going to get him behind that gain line. And what a read there by Tom Phillips. Huge line speed from the Scarlets at the moment.
Yeah, he's hit Stafford McDowell hard as well. Welcome to the big league, welcome to the big time. He's got to be able to front up in there. Bit scrappy from Glasgow. Rudy Jackson going for the over-the-top pass.
And that's the way you do beat a blitz defence, if you can get that ball over the top, but it is risky. The ball's in the air for a long time, it can get picked off.
You've also got to do it going forward as well. I don't think you can do that off having just been smashed the phase before.
There's Alex Allen. Like I said, he was sent off in this fixture last season, but his teammates rallied and got the job done in what was a very interesting contest. Glasgow Warriors winning it in the end, 29-20. And they played with 14 men for 60 minutes. What would have been a tough week at Scotstoun. Players being asked to step up to the task.
I didn't think he was on the ball, but
yeah, we've heard it's been tasty in training, which it normally is.
Okay, lads, we have
leading into big games. You want that heightened emotion. It means the players care. And we heard about that in the Wales, didn't we? Wasn't there a bit of a scuffle with Alan Wynne-Jones and Ken Owens in the lead up to the Australia game?
There's always scuffles. There's always scuffles, mate. Moriarty is a man on a mission at the moment as well.
He's not happy.
You don't want to get partnered up with him. in any tackling drills.
Mark Jones finds Kassim. Comes out from Steff Hughes. Helps out in the rocking as well. Now Kassim adds his weight to the attack. McNichol shifts it along the line to Lewis Rollins.
Good options here. You're seeing Scarlets just playing around the fringes off 9, small passes, just earning the right to go wide.
Mark Jones breaking the gain line as well. Now they look to go a little wider.
Tackle!
It's looking quite fancy, isn't it, going left to right, but haven't really made any ground.
Now they get it out wide to Josh McLeod, but again, the defence closing off any space that was looking like it might open up. Kassim, again the ball carrier from number 8.
It's going to take Scarlets 3 or 4 phases now to get themselves back into position, to get their units back together.
Well, they'll take that happily. The penalty just inside the Warriors' half.
Yeah, they will there. They got off there, really. Warriors looked like they were in control defensively. Looked like the Scarlets were going to be forced to kick. But infringement now. That man there. Oh, is this in range? Dan, no, it's not in range. Kicked so well last week. You expect this to go deep inside Glasgow's 22.
See how much risk-reward Dan Jones goes for, and does make it into the 22.
Love that. Steals a couple of yards as well, doesn't he, from the mark? Gives himself a little bit of an edge.
Contributed 8 points as well to the cause last week. 2 tries.
You're too
scored
far
by
away from the mark.
Steff Evans
So
and Paul Asquith, who makes his 50th Scarlets appearance this evening. The inside centre.
We have a metre now, you're good.
And a good attacking position this
Ball!
for Scarlets.
Swinson stolen that.
Swinson comes away with it. Now Frisbee feeds Thompson, and they fancy this. Stafford McDowell looks for the gap. Now Thompson with the boots, and it's well measured, very well measured indeed. Really
good exit route there, wasn't it? Good decision by Stafford not to throw that ball. Looked like it was on wide. What a kick there.
It all stemmed from the line out. Turnover, Swinson. Scarlets chose the easier option to the front of the line out. Swinson rips the ball out, comes away. Pressure off. Pressure on Scarlets now.
Stay, receiver. Stay.
Line out well secured by Kassim.
You got your timing all wrong, Glasgow.
And another penalty, this time at the maul.
Maul had formed, 6 came around.
Yes, the maul had formed. Rob Harley goes round. Miscommunication there. Not too sure. Alex Allen heard the call. He engaged in the maul. And Rob Harley went round. Obviously, you can't do that. It's illegal. If no one engages with the maul at the front, yeah, it's Alex Allen. He engages. Obviously, doesn't get the call. You see teams do that. It's another option just to throw the opposition off. If no one engages in that maul and the maul goes forward, Rob Harley's got all rights to go round.
Yeah, sloppy communication there, isn't it? So early on. You need all to be on the same page.
So Mark Jones, and again he goes to Rollins. Kassim, head down in charge, and the tackle comes in, and the rip from Callum Gibbons. Tim Swinson couldn't hang on to it. And the error coming at the wrong time for the Warriors. But advantage is over. Jackson finds Kyle Stain. Stewart from Frisbee's pass at scrum half, and the Australian international has it again. Swinson out in the back line now. Frisbee finds Matt Fagerson, who does the bulk of the ball carrying for the Warriors. Jackson just had to check. He's coming under pressure now. 3 Scarlets players trying to wrap him up.
Scarlets defence is so good. Both sides coming up. Line speed off the line, aggressive. 1-2 tacklers, slowing the ball up. Glasgow under massive pressure now on this exit. It's now all on Scarlets' terms.
Use it!
It's 2 very determined teams going head to head. Johnny McNichol takes it well and now looks to spark the counter. Kept it in play for Steff Evans. He just had to juggle with it on the floor. Taken on by Samson Lee. He was one of the unfortunate ones to miss out on Wales's Rugby World Cup squad.
There's a lot of space on that right-hand side. Tom James is hugging the touchline, if anyone can see him. Dan Jones had a look up now.
Not out, not out. Leave it.
It is there for Kieran Hardy now. They might just have missed that opportunity to get the ball quickly wide on the other side, but Josh McLeod makes some good yards on the near side. Now Tom Phillips made his first Pro 14 start last week. The blindside flanker who's come through the academy at the Scarlets, and now it's Jones who looks for the big cross-field ball to Tom James. James kicks it over the top himself. It's now all about the bounce of the ball, and it heads out and into touch.
Very good pace there from Rory Hughes to get back. But that man there, 32 years old, been at the Cardiff Blues for a long time. You can see him hugging that touchline. You see Rory Hughes is up. The kick wasn't quite long enough. Check Tom James, nice chip over, but Rory Hughes does really well to get back.
They've been looking for that kick pass, haven't they, for the last couple of phases. It's a really good option for Scarlets.
Yeah, it's a really good option, but it has to be on the button, doesn't it? Otherwise it just is a negative kick otherwise. You need it there in front of the winger to be able to chase onto it. Wasn't quite there then.
Well, it was Swinson that won it at the line out, and the maul has worked well for the Warriors to give them a bit more ground, but that's gone straight up from Frisbee. Where will the ball end up?
First is knocked on.
George Clancy decides to stop play. First knock on coming from Scarlets.
It's actually a tough kick to get up for because it's in a lot of traffic. It just went straight up in the air. I mean, it's been a fairly sloppy start, hasn't it, by both teams. Both probably feeling the nerves a little bit. Passes aren't quite going to hand. Defences seem to be on top, but if there's one thing positive, that is a very aggressive Glasgow scrum.
Like I said, Tom, it has been physical. We've heard the energy and the collisions from where we're sat.
Time on.
Been really impressed, actually, how Scarlets have turned up. You know, there's going to be a massive backlash from Glasgow. It's been spoken about. David Rennie mentioned it. He put pressure on his players to go out there and deliver. It was all about how Glasgow were going to start. Obviously 3-0 up. The Scarlets are well in this. They look good.
If there's one thing you want to see a little bit more from the Scarlets, that's just bringing that physical presence, and we've seen that so far in the line speed. It's been so quick, up and back, getting in the passing line. That's what you want to do. You want to get in the passing line of these Glasgow players, make them think twice about passing that ball out wide into those wide channels. Then the intercepts come, then the hits behind the gain line come.
Crouch! Bind!
Glasgow will be looking for an easy out here. Be interested to try and kick the ball in. Scrum for a penalty.
The Warriors from a defensive line-out now have a defensive scrum, and Brandon Thompson looks for the kick. It's perfectly weighted for Kyle Stain. Got round one man. It's not quite gathered cleanly by Hugh Jones, but he did manage to recover it, although penalty goes the way of the visitors for holding on.
He's eventually put off his feet. He's eventually put off his feet by Glasgow. Hands around the ball.
We talked about how good that kick pass is, and that was a perfect example of one. Straight into the hands of Carl Stain. Look at it. You can see Steff Evans has to turn there, doesn't quite turn quick enough. A great take. Then just can't quite link with his players. That man there, he's sort of the forgotten man as well, isn't he? Of Scottish rugby. Played so well a couple of seasons ago, got a great try record for Scotland, but hasn't quite hit the form.
Make sure you don't.
Yeah, Hugh Jones, he's got that star quality in him. He's been upfront about maybe some of his frailties in defence, his frailties I should say. But he's a fantastic player, he's looking to hit a bit of form.
Mark Jones finds Rollins again, the go-to at the line out. Hardy sets it up for the second row once more. Big hit coming in from Tim Swinson. And the Scarlets forwards looking to make the hard yards. It's with McLeod once more. Right in the middle of the field. Hardy ducks out of the first tackle. Scrambles for a little bit more yardage. The pick-up this time coming from Rob Evans. And big charge coming on.
Now it could be on right.
There's offside against Glasgow. Can the Scarlets work it wide? It's dropped at the key moment by Tom James. So it would have been a fairy tale start for the winger.
All the hard work was done there. They created that space, didn't they? They used a block runner, a decoy, one man coming short, who went behind to Steff Evans, I think. Certain try. Just want to see, there he puts his hand up, he knows he should have taken that with all the experience he's got. Have a look at this. There, that's the decoy, ties in Hughes. Oh, you've got to be taking them really, haven't you? You'll be disappointed. Great angle here. Look at the short runner. That's Ashquith that comes in, it goes behind. Oh. There you are, next minute now, you've got to get over it. You put it to the back of your head and think about your next job.
Well, Dan Jones, in the meantime, has popped over the penalty, and we're all tied up at 3 apiece.
That was worrying for Glasgow, wasn't it? First real opportunity Scarlets got in Glasgow's 22.
Well, that one out on the full.
Scrum option on the halfway line.
From Brandon Thompson. Well, we can get some reaction from the Scarlets bench, and Johan Cunningham
Can we clip
is there.
That Tom
Johan,
James missed opportunity.
what have you made of the opening 24 minutes?
It's been a proper sort of arm wrestle. Both teams going hammer and tongs, and it's trying to limit the errors really from our side of things.
It's intense, isn't it? Did you expect anything else?
Not at all. You know, we were expecting a big response from Glasgow from last week, and they've clearly turned up tonight, and we relish in that physical challenge.
Well, Johan, you've got yourselves level. Good on that, and hope you have good luck for the rest of the game. Thanks for joining us.
Great, thank you.
And now Jones swings it wide for Steff Evans. Cummins. And Kieran McDonald will be halted.
Came off his hand. Knock on.
It looked like it was going to go forward anyway off Dan Jones' end, but the centre field scrum is such a great opportunity to attack, especially when you've got a live wire like Kieran Hardy at 9.
It was initially a forward pass, that's the first offence.
He's like a carbon copy of Gareth Davies. Look.
So that pass was forward initially, so it's a scrum.
Yeah, McLeod going for the intercept there.
Yeah, good explanation by George Clancy there as well.
Pass initially.
But Kieran Hardy there, you know, from a distance, he looks like Gareth Davies. Same sort of style, really pacey around the base of that scrum.
Bit of a try machine as well, isn't he? He's Scarlet's breakthrough player of the year last season.
That's right, he won the Scarlets breakthrough player of the season, but just got an eye for a gap. Such a dangerous solo runner.
It's not going anywhere.
Well, Nick Frisbee has 2 options, and he was rather forced into the one to Brandon Thompson.
Red offside.
Well, there's an offside against the Scarlets, picked up by George Clancy.
And that's always the case, isn't it? When you're blitzing, you've got to be squeaky clean. You've got to actually be a yard behind the offside line.
Defenders offside.
And it's one of the directives as well, isn't it, for the referees? They're picking up now, beginning of the season. when the coaches and the players get what they're going to be hot on, whether it's not rolling away in the tackle. This season they're going to be big on the offside line.
7.
Well, Breeze took a bit off that kick from Thompson. We'll be delighted to get a run in this Glasgow team, with Adam Hastings, of course, away at the World Cup.
It's probably quite hard to see on the TV, but there is a fair bit of a gust of wind going from right to left. You can see that kick there from Thompson, just gets caught in it.
Glasgow break up right through the middle with Alex Allen. Frisbee now to Rob Harley. Head down from Kieran McDonald. Allen waits, and he and Darcy Ray just got a little bit in each other's way, and just when things start to look promising for Glasgow again, it's just an error that breaks the attack.
Yeah, a little bit of innovation there for Grant Stewart to Alex Allen.
Only works once, though, doesn't it? Won't be able to do that again.
Alex Allen on for Ollie Kebon, not too sure, I don't think he's coming back. But yeah, just another mistake. Hey, we saw earlier on in the first half, Swinson runs into Rob Harley. Unfortunately for Ray, Darcy Ray, that's a drop ball.
There's been a few offloads, hasn't there, from this Glasgow team that hasn't quite gone to hand, not quite reading each other. You know, that's what happens, doesn't it, first couple of games into the season. Still a little bit sloppy. Oh, he shouldn't be too worried, Dave Rennie, but just passes aren't quite sticking for his team at the moment.
It's about marrying up that physicality with accuracy as well. And you've got that heightened emotion. We've been there as well, haven't we, Tom? Me probably more so than you, after some big losses and then trying to rebuild. And when the emotion's really high, it's sometimes difficult to stay on the right side of the law, but also the accuracy. You're so desperate to get into the game, so desperate to make a big carry, get off the line. And that's where these inaccuracies can come in. So I'm sure David Rennie will be pleased with the application. He'll just be looking for the accuracy now in key moments.
Dan Davis is on, the 21-year-old. Just signed his first pro contract in April. High hopes for this boy.
Yeah, had a great season last year. You saw him feature in quite a few games. A wonderful talent. I love watching him play. Really good in those wide channels, really elusive with pace, power. He'd be desperate to make an impression today.
So both teams want to scrimmage, don't they? You can hear it. It's a good scrum, that.
Okay. Well won, and gave the platform for Dan Jones to clear all the way up into Glasgow territory. Got a lot behind that kick. The wind on the Scarlets' backs in this first half.
Organised now. Guys, you were there.
Glasgow last season won their conference A that they're in again. And it was their home record that was the basis for last season's success. Only Edinburgh won here.
He's trapped there, sir.
And the Saracens also in the European Champions Cup.
Yeah, scrappy line out there. Just is quite a good drill, just maybe slightly overthrown. Young Grant Stewart.
Looked like the penalty was going to be given, didn't it, against Mark Jones there for not rolling away. Just gets caught in that road, doesn't it? Sensible refereed by George Clancy, says it's unplayable. So many times though you see those given as penalties, don't you?
Crouch! Bind!
It might be commentator's curse here, but
stand up.
I was going to say the scrums, bar one, have been well contested.
The attitude has been really good up to now, so we can live with this one. Same team puts in.
So Clancy initially told them no messing around after the first scrum. It's the first reset we've had, which we like to see, Tom. I'm sure you love a scrum, don't you? Listen to the energy. I can feel it from here. No comment.
Let's go, boys.
Scrum in sevens, does that count?
Bind!
Samson Lee, Rob Evans, not selected for Wales, who really want to make a big impression.
It's there for Frisbee and Stafford McDowell. It was a risky pass. Brandon Thompson taken out, and it is a penalty for Scarlets right in front of the posts as the fly half held on.
Very quick. Whistle blown there by George Clancy. Again, you can see this aggressive defence. It's taken really flat, really good read there by Steff Evans.
He's such a good defender, right?
Yeah, you see that, he just drifts off his man.
I agree, yeah.
Takes Thompson. And then, is that a jackal by Dan Evans? Dan Jones, sorry? Was that a jackal by Dan Jones? One for the highlights reel, if it is.
Either way, it definitely is for him.
There's not many 10s at jackal, are there? Butch James, he jackal.
In the 70s.
And he's got an opportunity to put Scarlets in front for the first time at Scotstoun. Dan Jones. Well, he drilled it hard and low, but he's missed the target with that one. Had a bad miss late on last week against Connacht, and he's frustrated by that one.
Yeah, he knows. That should have been 3 point. Here we go. That's attacked by Steff Evans. Yes, it is. Dan Jones gets himself in a good position. You don't often want your quarterback, do you, in those positions?
Come on, let's go. Come on. Oh.
Unfortunately, couldn't convert his good work. So Thompson gets us underway with a high hanging kick. Up goes Steff Evans to knock it backwards.
And he's hit then, if you touch.
Final touch came off a Scarlets player. Will be a Glasgow line-out.
It's just a line-out, right?
Yeah. Lots of errors in this game so far. Lots of knock-ons, quite a lot of scrums. No team really imposing their authority.
Thanks, Si. Got it.
God, he's dangerous when he's cutting back inside with a little bit of room.
Stay here, not here.
Not seen him this fit for a while, so expecting big things of him this season at the Scarlets.
You might see an early kick here. Just try and change it up a little bit if you're Glasgow, hey? They're not getting anything whilst carrying into that traffic until now.
Good rise from Swinson at the back of the line out. Hugh Jones just took his eye off it with the blitz defence in his foresight.
Knock on first by Black, so it's scrum red ball.
That's what you call getting spooked. You can see your opposing winger rushing in on you. It just takes a little moment for your eyes to flick up. You're right though, Jim, you know, they're not getting anywhere off the top of line-outs off set piece. Maybe an attacking kick is the right option. There we are, look at Tom James coming in, just spooks Hugh Jones, takes his eyes off it. You know, you've got to take those balls, haven't you? You've got to take it into contact, you've got to soak up the hit, recycle it, and you go again.
It's a very even game. Might just take something very special to break these two apart. Kassim and Hardy wait. Here comes James off his wing in midfield and looking for work. Now Kassim, the South African number 8. Big fend coming from Johnny McNichol. Now into Steve Cummings, the Australian second row. Hardy takes it to the short side, and it's worked well for Scarlets, but in the end, dragged into touch was Steff Evans.
You see it from both teams, don't you? Off the set piece, they're getting over the gain line by that second and third carry. They're not really getting any momentum. Defences are spread then, and that's why you see McNichol forced to kick, nothing out in front of him, no space.
I think we'll see a little bit more kicking, won't we? Because both defences are so good. Try and break it somehow.
No, play on.
Fagerson in the back line, and again.
Really good read there by Tom James.
Release!
Properly stops that attack going round to the left.
Glasgow were just getting those passes away in time. They have managed to come away with the penalty right on their own 22. It
was an impressive set-piece move there from Glasgow. They did all the hard work in the middle, but
Ben, what was that?
Just a great read from Tom James, which stops that ball going out wide to the left.
You've got to be either exceptionally creative or brave when you're faced with a defence like this, though.
Just time off a second.
There he is, look, doing what he does well.
We also have
when your centre hits in there, like Steff used is, the winger has to follow him, and he does.
So you've been caught twice, so make sure you make a better effort, all right?
Interesting to see if Glasgow have got a plan B. Every time they've been in this area around halfway, they've tried to go wide. They've not even got past the centres. We mentioned
well knocked
Steff
down.
Evans is so good in that area.
By Kieran McDonald. And this time it's a Scarlets penalty. Holding on once more. As Stafford McDowell took it into the contact. It's not the first time we've seen that penalty either.
Here's your mark kicker.
And that man, number 7, Josh McLeod, gets his iron claws on the ball. Difficult man to move. Look at that position. Straight in on that ball.
Yeah, clean coming from the inside. That's what you get, don't you? The Scarlets are rushing up, like you said. Tom on the outside, that blitz defence, it forces attackers to come back in, and then you're vulnerable, aren't you? If you get hit on the gain line, players can come in. The old school jackal. All good back rows.
Second rows.
10s, as we've just seen. Glasgow needs to mix it up, don't they? They've tried that now 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, the Scarlets wingers and backs are reading it really well. A big kick now for Dan Jones. He missed one, similar distance, not that long ago.
Chance to make amends for Dan Jones in this very tightly poised game. He strikes it better this time. The flags go up and the Scarlets lead at Scotstoun by 6 points to 3.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Penalty for Scarlets.
Nice decent kick
Number 10, Dan Jones.
from Dan Jones there. Make amends for the one he's just missed. It's important now for the 3-point leader. Scarlets clear their lines well. A lot of focus on exiting your own half, not playing too much. But first off, winning the kickoff.
It's well won by Kyle Stain. Now Grant Stewart onto Kieran McDonald. It's there for Frisbee, and he was interfered with there. Thompson. And there might be an immediate chance for the Warriors to respond, and that'll really frustrate Brad Moore.
Yeah, just spoke about it, didn't we? Clearing your lines. I think Josh McLeod is found guilty there. But interesting now. I believe this is in kicking range, even with a win.
And with Thompson's boot as well. He's such a good kicker, but maybe the wind is an issue. You can see the flags there. They are blowing. Maybe a statement of intent before the half.
Great kick though, isn't it? To get that 5 metres out into a hurling wind.
Until he hits the ground, don't touch. Don't touch until he hits the ground.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see the ball going much further than the forwards here.
Front ball.
Will the Warriors get a reward for their ambition in the final minute of the half? Rob Harley claimed it. It's now with Grant Stewart at the back as the Warriors look to gain some traction towards the Scarlets line in a game that has precious little attacking opportunities so far. There will be another penalty coming to the home side. The home crowd want more though. They want to see the 7-pointer.
This is where we could see the option of the kick pass. Out the back, Thompson behind the forwards.
Okay.
Roy Hughes on the wing gives him another option. While they keep banging the ball.
McDowell sees the gap, it knocks on.
Where's that mark, Ben?
We'll go back for the penalty.
Offside.
Again offside against that rush Scarlets defence, and decision time again with time running out. What we do here, Jim?
We'll just see where it is, but I imagine they'll go to the corner again. A slight bit of momentum now with Glasgow. There we go, safe option. Maybe the kick was too far first time round.
You don't have 7. Yeah, but then after
you can see it come off the
when it came back. Yeah.
Good driving line out. Runs that line straight at the ref, so difficult to defend.
So Brandon Thompson, who with his first kick of the game took himself over the 100 points mark in a Glasgow Warriors jersey, and now has the relatively simple task of knocking over his second penalty of the first half, equalising the 2 penalties from Dan Jones, and in what has been an exceptionally even game at Scotstoun. At the break, it's Glasgow Warriors 6, Scarlets 6. Two sides known as being the great entertainers, but they're involved in quite an arm wrestle at the break, and ready to go for a second 40 minutes, which will be very important in the context of both teams' seasons. Werner Kruger is on for Scarlets in the front row, joining Dan Davis, who came on in that first half.
Wait now, chasers.
And Brandon Thompson kicks the first ball up to Tom James, who had that wonderful opportunity in the first half, the former Cardiff Blue. There's Kruger with his first charge, and Josh McLeod, I think, has stayed down in the Warriors half. That's a real concern for the visiting side.
Half-time change for Scarlets, returning.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it either? He's got 2 physios next to him.
It's Rory Jackson who takes play into the 22. Where's the bounce going to take it?
Oh, what a kick.
Perfectly measured in the end, forcing Johnny McNichol into the clearance.
Yeah, we mentioned that first half going into half-time, Glasgow need to change up their game slightly. And we've seen maybe the kicking tactics will come to fruition this second half, because the Scarlets' defence in that first half was fantastic.
Yeah, and the wind will hugely help Glasgow in this half, won't it? You could see that already by that kick from Rory Jackson. Doesn't really have to put too much onto it, keeps it nice and low, drills it. And that's what you want. You want to split the 15, you want to split your wing up, which there is Dan Jones covering. But no, Josh McLeod looks like he's getting back to his feet now. Maybe it was just a stinger.
Just trying to get some movement into that left shoulder. You could hear the physio saying, squeeze my hand, just to make sure that there was enough strength in it.
Yeah, you get those knocks on your shoulder, your arm goes numb just momentarily. But the Scarlets really need him back. Need him at that breakdown, turning balls over, slowing down this Glasgow attack.
Who have their own concerns over Rory Jackson. 7 months since his last Scotstoun appearance.
5, hold it here. Get
Both men back to their feet.
Get your numbers right.
Both sides back up to the full complement. Then comes the line out. Well claimed as well by Kieran McDonald. The line out has been a lot safer than last week for Glasgow. Stafford McDowell there for Frisbee, up to Hugh Jones, trying to reignite his Warriors career. They've got a fight on for that one. Dan Davis managing to get hands on it, and the youngster hoping to have turned it, but it's back on the Warriors side.
Thompson does really well, doesn't he?
Big Fen from McDowell gets the offload as well. And Kevill charging up the middle. Or, my mistake, Callum Gibbons, the Warriors captain. Ollie Kevill it was who went off in the first half for an HIA, and the Warriors have an opportunity for early points in the second half.
It's interesting, you look at the ball carriers that Glasgow are using. Obviously Callum Gibbons made the break there, but Kieran McDonald, second row, rangy.
Shot at goals called.
Well, you wouldn't notoriously think as a ball carrier in second row, but he's carried well. He's carried into the defenders, made yards.
Yeah, shot at goals is called, yeah.
You can see that Josh Millau, can't you, had his hands on the ball, then falls over on the wrong side. But just when Glasgow made a half break, that's when you want quick ball, don't you? It got delivered probably 1 or 2 seconds too late and just numbed their attack. The Scarlets were able to then reset their line.
It's a scrappy game, as we can see. Again, the defences are on top. When there is a slight line break, quite smart, slowing that ball up. It's very rarely you see a line break on a line break when the defences are this good.
2 from 2 from Thompson last week, 3 from 3 this week, and it's the Warriors that now edge themselves in front. He's got a steady nerve, Brandon Thompson. It's claimed by Rory Hughes. Not many chances for wingers to get into their stride, and look at that, a huge hit coming in from Lewis Rollins.
Inside.
McNichol gets away from the first man, but he can't stop Kyle Stain. The crowd urging the Warriors' defence on. The ball comes out their side, but the arm is raised by George Clancy, and there might be a bit of attention coming for Brandon Thompson, who was absolutely smashed.
Oh, mullered, wasn't he, in that tackle? Does so well to get that ball away, though. It was brought back really deep. Lewis Rawlins spots it. He tries to end him, doesn't he? Oh, big hit.
But got to be careful there, though, haven't you, with them?
Yeah, it's timing, isn't it?
Yeah, also timing, but also gets that away, which he did. That's what you get against his blitz defence.
Scarlets a missed touch. Jackson with a very awkward one indeed. It's into the arms of Tom James.
Back now.
Thompson's back, covering the backfield. Asquith has got a man on his shoulder, and it's the prolific Kieran Hardy who goes in, and that could be a huge moment in this game. The first try of the night. It's taken 45 minutes to come, and it's the scrum half, Kieran Hardy, who goes in under the post.
Scored by number 9, Kieran Hardy.
Delicious support line from Kieran Hardy. I'm not sure what that kick was, a shank, a pull off the boot. But Tom James works back inside, gets himself down on the ground. And there, it's the show and go, isn't it? Asquith on the inside. What an offload to Kieran Hardy, who runs such a positive inside line.
Easy extras as well. It's the full 7-pointer. There's the Scarlets Move, clear, 39 lead to the visitors.
He's a try machine, isn't he, Kieran Hardy? Look at this. Just shows on the outside, double pumps. Good fending. You have to say that is a delightful offload, isn't it? To that man there, the try machine, Kieran Hardy.
I've got him down as 9 starts and 8 tries for the Scarlets. Incredible stuff from the 23-year-old. Claimed by Steff Evans this time, making his 98th Scarlets appearance.
Stay winger.
Try against Connacht last week. Precious few opportunities, but there's just a little bit of daylight for the first time between the sides.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more kicking, aren't we? If you can call Rudy Jackson's kick a kick.
Number 10.
There's got to be a change around there because someone needs to take the game to the opposition. That man there is not going to be happy. An established player, established kicker.
Substitution.
Totally against the run of play as well, wasn't it, Big Jim? Just doesn't come off the front of that boot. Comes off the side, just gives Scarlets easy possession in the middle of the field, and then Glasgow are down on numbers on the right.
Change it, fly half for Scarlets. Dan Jones coming off, and Angus O'Brien is coming on. Man who played for Wales in the Commonwealth Games, in the Sevens Rugby.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about a kicking game. A lot of fans wonder what a kicking game is, Tom.
What is it?
Well, it's not necessarily just about kicking the ball. There's a lot more to it, isn't there? It's kicking to regain the ball. It's up and unders to regather or put pressure on the opposition to knock on. Therefore, then you get a scrum. It's about kicking on your own terms. Like we saw that in the first half. Dan Evans with the kick.
Yeah.
Crossfield, fantastic kick. It was okay. It went to hand. It wasn't as bad as Jackson's, unfortunately.
And when when you're kicking on your own terms, you've got your kick chase sword as well, haven't you? You've got players in the right positions chasing that ball, able to put pressure on the defence.
Surprised by that one, to see Dan Jones come off, maybe precautionary?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Whether there's something wrong with him or not. You know, he kicked really well last week. You're going to need a big kicking game today to put the Scarlets in the right area. But Angus O'Brien, rated very highly. He was at the Dragons. They loved him there. But it'd be interesting. I'm quite intrigued to see how well he goes today, because there is a bit of pressure on this game. It's a good Glasgow outfit. Hopefully he's all right.
Angus O'Brien, he is experienced, making his 50th Pro 14 appearance, 46 of those coming for the Dragons.
I can't stop the game forever here now, okay?
Oh, I tell you what, that's horrible when that happens. I used to wear contacts to play, and when you lose one in your eye, you've got to carry on. Sometimes you can't, you see out of one eye, you can't see out the other.
You have to go to the sideline to continue this.
And it takes a while to put them back in because the adrenaline's going through your body, your hands are shaking, you need a mirror.
Let's go.
Well, George Clancy's not having any of it.
Yeah,
he's trying to get to the side of the pitch.
He obviously doesn't wear contact lenses then.
Well, how's he going to get to the sideline? He can't see.
Well, he's back up is Brandon Thompson. Looks like they got it done in the nick of time. Not another option at 10 on the bench, really, but Rudy Jackson, of course, has plenty of experience there. It's another rapid carry coming from Stafford McDowell. He's not been shy for those. Glasgow just getting away with that one through Thompson. But now the Scarlets have it. Can they catch Johnny McNichol? Not many can. Rudy Jackson is there. And Scarlets looking to go the length of the field. Kassim has it. Now flown out by Evans. Asquith, he's got it back, linking the play, the centre. Hardy, the try scorer, looking to work the short side.
Still advantage.
Warriors onto that. Evans again. And to Jones.
Yeah, Carlstein does really well there when it's going down the left, just to push off his man, take the second man, the second Scarlet come around the corner.
Still playing advantage to the Scarlets. It's chipped through by Hughes. Steff Hughes, oh, it's magnificently collected but just short of the line. Hardy waits.
Release it off your feet.
Big opportunity.
Yeah,
this game
there.
has turned in the last 5 minutes in Scarlets' favour.
It's on left if the Scarlets can recognise it.
No, short.
They take it short.
It's clearly on left. They need to communicate. They need to get that ball out.
Hands off the ground, good.
You can hear Johnny McNichol on the ref mic calling it.
No, short. Hands out, Glasgow.
Desperation time as Hardy now does fly out. It's taken by Asquith. And on his 50th Scarlets appearance, Paul Asquith goes over for the Scarlets' second try. And this game has turned in 5 minutes in the Scarlets' favour. They have daylight now.
Really good angle there by Asquith. It was on out wide, it was on short. They picked the right option. Does really well to get over for his try, but this is where it's created. Steff Hughes, nothing on. Chip and chase, you just think if that's a wet pitch, he's going over. And this is where it's good. This is the communication. You can hear Johnny McNichol screaming. There's a wide player for Scarlets on the touchline. And Paul Asquith runs a really tight line. Separates two defenders, goes over for a try.
Well, here's Angus O'Brien to confidently knock over the extra two. Takes the Scarlets up to 20 points, and they've got an 11-point lead.
Yeah, it all came off the Glasgow interception pass, wasn't it, in the Scarlets' half. Went for the other big ball over the top. Just not earning the right at all. I think we'll see it here. Rob Harley out the back, that's fine. There's no problem with that. Glasgow just looking to hold on to ball. Frisbee just going over the top there. Just looking for that one pass, that miracle ball. Glasgow haven't earned the right yet to go into them areas. And it ends up 7 points.
You can see there, Connie Thompson, he's looking at the wide pass. He's gambling there. Not much he could do.
Yeah, it's difficult to defend.
Well, 5 minutes ago, the Warriors had a 3-point lead. That has evaporated big time.
Captain.
Yeah, really impressed with the Scarlets. They've got a bit of killer instinct in them, haven't they? 2 opportunities, 2 tries in the second half.
Well, that one touched in flight, and Kyle Steen is the man to profit. Once again, Dave Rennie and the Warriors ask for a big response. The ball is there for Frisbee. His pass was intercepted. It's now Gibbons.
Scarlets good in the contact area, slowing the ball down, aren't they?
Goes behind Thompson, and here goes Steff Evans.
It's a try. It's going to be a try.
If he can collect this, he's going to score. And Glasgow again, architects of their own downfall. It looked good from Steff Evans. He looks confident. George Clancy will check it. They will go upstairs.
We don't have a grounding here. On-field decision is no try. That's correct, Chris?
Just repeat on-field decision.
No try. So we need to check to see if the grounding is okay.
We'll review the replay now. On-field decision, no try.
Thank you.
So interestingly, Clancy's on-field decision that he doesn't think it's a try, so he can't think there's a grounding, or he might think there's a knock-on, and they're just going to go and try and confirm that. From where we were, it looked okay. There's no grounding there. To me, yeah, it's a try.
Looks like a try, doesn't it? But another mistake from Glasgow gives Steff Evans that opportunity. Here we go. He picks it up. It's not touched the ground there.
It's 100% a try.
That's okay, Simon, does it?
Yeah, George, the evidence is it's a try, so we'll overturn your on-field decision. You may award the try.
2 tries in 2 games for Steff Evans. 3 in 7 minutes for the Scarlets. And they are starting to run away with this one.
Yeah, it's all come off defence as well. Physicality in defence, I mentioned it, they're coming up hard. Forcing Glasgow back inside, slowing that breakdown down. In the first half, they give away a couple of penalties in that area. They've got away with it, and they're just making a real scrap of it for Glasgow. And they're just running away with it now, Scarlets. Been very, very impressed with this second half.
So O'Brien. Look to nail this one as he did with his first, but that one drifts wide, and it remains 25-9 to the Scarlets.
Excellent decision by Steff Evans not to dive on that ball. Sometimes it's a 50-50, isn't it? Do you kick it on? Do you dive on it and recycle it? It's a lovely kick forward, great weight on it, and a great chase from him as well.
Kassim with the take from the kickoff. What a second half it's been from the Scarlets.
Yeah, we've not seen too much of Kassim in attack, but defensively, rock solid.
High it goes from Hardy.
Okay. Yeah, can you stand the line, please? Number 2.
Oh, for Brad Moore. This was a game that looked like it was going to be an arm wrestle to the finish, but his team have just taken control.
Okay,
opportunistic, taking advantage of mistakes from Glasgow, but boy, have they been clinical. Taylor Davis is on for the Scarlets. And that's Hooker for Mark Jones, who heads off. It's not taken by Dan Davis.
There was a knock on at the back of the line out by Glasgow. Scrum, Scarlet ball.
See, Jim, this is not something you really associate with Glasgow, is it? All the mistakes they're making. We thought after last week and the drumming they took up in South Africa, we thought we'd see a bit more of a reaction than we have today.
Yeah, well, I think definitely emotion-wise, we've seen a reaction from Glasgow. First half, but very physical. I mentioned, though, you've got to be able to temper that emotion to be in control. A missed opportunity in the line out there. You know, it's been 3 big mistakes, well, 2 big mistakes. A missed kick by Rudy Jackson, and obviously the intercept pass by Frisbee at 9. You know, apart from that, Scarlets haven't massively had to work. Yes, they've got to finish the tries, and they've done fantastic in that, but that man's not going to be happy. It's a big deficit now against a very good Scarlets team.
Great poker face, though, wasn't it?
You need to take the pressure off.
If you've not got a good hand, yeah.
Pre-engaged.
They're not used to this sort of thing, though, the Warriors. They usually start the season so well, get the wins under their belt, and that allows them to progress from there, and others seem unable to knock them off, but they're going to have to work from the base of the table this year, it seems.
Yeah, let's not forget last year's finalists as well. They want to go one better this year, and to do that with the World Cup, with the Six Nations, they need to be able to front up as a squad.
Number 3 lost your feet. Number 3.
You can see the energy shift now, can't you? All the Scarlets players running in, congratulating the forwards at the coalface. You can see the energy that gives.
Here's your mark.
Now as a forward, the ball's going to be in front of you.
Do you like that? As a second row, you've had a big scrum and you've got all the backs coming in, tapping you on the top of the head.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I didn't do anything else apart from scrummage and more. So that was my thing.
That was your niche.
Point of difference. Point of difference, I should say.
Yes.
USP.
But what it does to the opposition as well, it's that it just shifts that emotion, that you know the team are energised. Scarlets down the front foot, line out, everything. Well,
advantage.
Turnover.
Taylor Davis unable to hit his man, and Kieran McDonald comes away with it for the Warriors. Next is Tim Swinson, but he's met by 2 tacklers. One of them Kassim, and the other one Dan Davis. Brandon Thompson with a spiraled kick that's going to sit up nicely for O'Brien. Steps well. Caught by Matt Fagerson in the end. Kassim now finds Evans. James. McNichol looked a little forward and spotted by Mr. Clancy.
Yeah, playing a bit more though in their Scarlets. Obviously shackles are off now. Game's opened up. Shanks.
Yeah, this is what we're used to seeing to the Scarlets. The offloading game, the high tempo game, getting out wide. But unfortunately just overrun it, don't they? We'll be a little bit careful, they don't play too much now. Still a lot of time left in this game. The wind is with Glasgow. And at the moment, all the Scarlets are doing is just relying on Glasgow's mistakes. Snapping up try-scoring opportunities.
What do you think for Brad Moore is the game plan in general? Is it to continue what Wayne Pivac did so well, or is it to put his own blueprint on it?
It's difficult, isn't it, when you're a new coach to come in and change the entire squad around. If you look at the Scarlets and the success they've had success playing a wide game, playing a fast-paced offloading game. I don't think he'll tinker too much with it at all.
Are above the hips and not below.
I think he'll obviously have his own little ideas, but we all know when we see the best of the Scarlets, we see him in those wide channels. We see him playing width, middle width. You know, they're so dangerous on counter-attack as well, on turnover ball.
Crouch!
And I guess, as an organisation, you pick a coach which suits a method that has worked for you.
Yeah, there's no point in him coming in and just trying to play tight rugby, trying to play 10-man rugby, relying on switches off 10, 12.
Frisbee gets the loose ball.
Advantage.
Now Fagerson. There's advantage coming for Glasgow. And secondly as well, as down goes Kasim, and clutching his right boot there as he broke the line and hurt himself in the process.
Really didn't look good, that, did it, with Kasim? He just tries to preempt the pass, getting off the line fast, then stops and looks like his leg buckles slightly. Here he is, look. Nope, it's gone.
First real opportunity, but this half certainly for Glasgow. One of their biggest frustrations is they've just not been able to break the line, have they? Their kicking game's not been where it probably needs to be to break down this Scarlets defence, and their line-out's not been that accurate under pressure as well. So real opportunity here. I imagine they'll maybe take the safer option towards the front of the line-out, guarantee that kind of possession.
Grant Stewart does find Kieran MacDonald, and now the Scotland cap goes to the back of the maul to try and get some control, but it looks like it's going to be Scarlet's ball perhaps.
One scrum half.
Is the ball going to come out of there? No. And listen to the roar that comes from the Scarlets forwards.
The opportunity at the back.
Oh, they loved that then, didn't they? You could hear them all screaming. Excuse the language. Do so well to keep that ball off the ground. You know, it looked like a really good set piece, didn't it, by Glasgow, Jim? They take their ball cleanly, they set up what looked like a good drive.
Go, guys, come on. Time off, please.
Yeah, mentioned it just then, didn't I? The sustained pressure that Glasgow needed to impose on Scarlets. They've just not been able to hold on in the line-out.
Yep.
There we go, we'll probably get to see it again. They take the middle option, Scarlets don't compete. That makes them slightly stronger on the floor. And the maul looks set, doesn't it? Slowly breaks off there. McLeod's done a fantastic job to stop that.
Yeah.
Let's go, turnover ball.
I think it was him.
Just where it splinters, isn't it? It allows McLeod, Dan Davis to get in, keep that ball up.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see the Scarlets come in. I was at Saracens at a team where guys would come in whooping and hollering, and sometimes it can be seen as maybe unsportsmanlike, but what it does, especially away from home, it just breeds that internal emotion, adrenaline for what's going to be a massive scrum for Scarlets now. Glasgow had an opportunity there to do something, come away with nothing.
Did you win anything at Saracens?
Well, a few things. I don't really talk about it, but I was involved. I was present.
Right.
Warriors are making a change as off goes Tim Swinson, and he's going to be replaced by Chris Vasaro, who captained the Warriors in the last outing against the Scarlets. Experienced campaigner.
So Rob Harley will move up into the second row. Familiar position for the Glasgow stalwart. We'll see the energy that Vasaro can bring around the whole of the pitch, really, around the breakdown.
Well, this time it's a Warriors penalty as the scrum went down. A bit of afters between the scrum halves.
No, don't put it in jeopardy. Don't put it in jeopardy. Cross out.
And Rory Hughes just gets the call back from Callum Gibbons.
Don't want to mess with Rory Hughes, do you?
Well, you don't know. But even staying running 50 metres, I don't know whether we wanted to get involved or just to celebrate the scrum. Reverse psychology. First time we've seen staying in open space.
Well, the call from the Warriors is to go for the scrum. That is interesting.
Yeah, it was really powerful, wasn't it, in the first half? Can they maintain that pressure now?
Yeah, Glasgow have been working on their scrum with Petrus Duplessis. Talking to Saracens, he was my former teammate at tight head, one of the world's best scrummagers. And he's been working with this Glasgow team since last season. And they said they've massive emphasis on the scrum.
Yeah, a really good addition to the coaching staff. Had a really big impression amongst the squad last season when he was playing. And here goes Frisbee. Hughes now. And the crowd trying to urge Glasgow on to their first try of the game. There's still a quarter of the game to go.
Stay inside now.
Usually so expansive, so many try-scoring bonus points here at Scotstoun, but they're being made to work very, very hard for any points that are on offer against this Scarlet side. It's Matt Fagerson who's next to be caught. The tackles keep coming thick and fast. The Scarlets are enjoying the defensive side of their game, but the Warriors will keep plugging away. Kieran McDonald takes it on the crash. Glasgow are going to do it. They're going to do it the long way round.
Yeah, they're being made to work for him, aren't they? Scarlet's defender's been impenetrable all game.
There's going to be some tired legs, some sore shoulders out there.
Stay here.
10 phases all the way along the 5-metre line. It's Gibbons.
Walk it again here now. There you go.
And it's there for Frisbee once more. Again, there's a pod of forwards waiting. And Kieran McDonald carries again. Hardy was desperate to get his mitts on that. Allen to Frisbee. Now the back score. And Brandon Thompson does go over for Glasgow. A clenched fist. And does that mark the start of the comeback? That's what the crowd inside Scotstoun hope. That's a bit more like it from Glasgow Warriors.
First sustained bit of pressure from Glasgow. Probably all match really. Patient going through the phases, not really going anywhere. And then first opportunity to find some space. You just see that ball out the back. Alex Allen, I think it was. It's a walk in for Thompson.
Yeah, that's what does the damage, doesn't it? You know, you think the forward pod are going to carry. They use as a decoy. Frisbee throws a lovely pass to Thompson.
Well, all points are big now. And Thompson has struck that really well. Takes the Warriors up to 16, and all of them have come from their fly half.
Yeah, good patience here. If you look at this come round, you can see Angus O'Brien gets sucked in by the decoy. Frisbee does really well to find his man.
Brandon Thompson, who scored a try in a man-of-the-match performance against Scarlets last year. He's at it again. Maybe this game that looked done isn't quite. It all comes down to the attitude and application of both sides in this closing 15 minutes.
Yeah, they really changed the picture well there, didn't they? A lot of runners off 9. And then when you think it's coming off 9 to hit the forward pack, it's not. It's a decoy. Sucks in defenders. And the try's great, but
that's a mistake
there. Yeah, big one as well. It's 65 minutes. Just easy possession now. Or territory for the Scarlets. They still want to win the line out. There'll be no hurry now. Just making sure the communication is clear. They all know the call. Here we are, look, outside. Maybe the wind surprised him a little bit.
I mean, that's proper out as well as it's not even close.
That's out.
That's out, yeah. I don't know much about kicking, but I know that's out.
Keep it in.
You see Scarlets take the easy option there at the front, guaranteed ball.
Advantage, contact in the air.
And there will be a penalty coming.
Advantage.
Hardy with the short ball. Kassim again, the first carrier. O'Brien, that was neatly done. Hugh Jones collects it, but we'll go back for the penalty.
Oh, I tell you, if that kick was a little bit further.
Number 6, contact in the air.
Steff Hughes and Ashquith looked like they were through there.
Shot at goal's called.
I'd say Kassim's playing well as well, isn't he? Looking to get his hands on the ball.
Here we are, look, it's a difficult position to defend because your 15 is out wide, because the Scarlets winger, Steff Evans, is on that touchline looking for the crossfield kick. It's a long way for your scrum half to cover and sweep behind.
It's under 15.
Really good option. Sometimes on the floor is a good option as well, but it's more difficult kick because you've got to get through that heavy traffic.
And an important moment for Angus O'Brien here, as the Scarlets just look to break that Warriors momentum that they gained with that try from Brandon Thompson. O'Brien with the strike, it rattles the upright, and where's it going to go? Dead
22.
Just.
Pressure kick that, wasn't it? At this stage in the game.
Yeah.
That's a kick you should get.
Time off,
It's a high percentage
substitutions.
kick. Just rattles that post.
Number 15 and number 3.
Well, change for the
Number 3.
Warriors. And Adam Nichol and Glenn Bryce are the ones coming on for
Okay, time back on.
Rory Jackson and Darcy Ray. Glenn Bryce back at Scotstoun. His brother actually left the squad at the end of last season, Kevin Bryce.
Also leaving the pitch for 18, Adam Nichol, replaced by number 3.
It's taken on by Taylor Davis.
No, don't go in there.
Substitute hooker for Scarlets, and Kassim again.
No.
Hardy is just looking to control territory here. It goes high from the scrum half. Well taken, no. Again, Thompson with a good take, and on at scrum half, Jamie Dobie for the Warriors. An exciting young scrum half, second youngest ever Warriors player, behind John Barclay. Penalty for the Scarlets.
Good turnover there. Josh McLeod again after a good attacking kick by Hugh Jones. We mentioned that, didn't we, at the start of this second half, that if Glasgow were going to get on the front foot, maybe a few more attacking kicks against this blitz defence. They collected. There it is. The croc roll, the judo roll, whatever you want to call it, doesn't work. McLeod, strong base, 2 hands on the ball, certain penalty.
Big moments in the match as well. Man of the match last week. You know, the momentum was shifting slightly with Glasgow scoring the last try. Opportunity there for them. And that man McLeod, brilliant today. Again.
Okay.
That's a big turnover.
Number 9.
And a lot of these stoppages now, they won't suit Glasgow, will they? Glasgow probably want to speed the game up a little bit.
Dane Blacker coming on for his Scarlets debut at scrum half as Kieran Hardy makes his way.
Substitution for Scarlets, leaving the field at number 9.
He'll be happy with his 70 minutes today. Looked really lively. Scored a try. He's done the basics really well.
So Blacker is on, the former Dragon and Blue. He's played now for 3 of the 4 Welsh regions, and Glasgow will be bringing on Tom Gordon as well. The Curry man on for Matt Fagerson.
Tom Gordon.
Perfect, perfect.
Matt Fagerson, that will be a major concern. He's the one to head off for Tom Gordon coming on. Big game against the Blues here next week for the Warriors.
There it is.
Here goes the substitute scrum half. It's on to Steff Evans, who's carried really well.
Just put him down there.
Blacker, the substitute into Davies. Kassim.
Taking a second roll.
Blacker now looks for Asquith. Well tackled by his opposite man. In fact, it was Thompson with the tackle. But the Scarlets are now looking to close this one out. They're looking to secure the result and perhaps in the process to get a bonus point of their own.
Hands out now!
Evans sent backwards by Grant Stewart, but the ball had gone elsewhere. A fight on there for possession of the ball on the floor, and it goes the way of the Warriors, and a bit of a rallying call for them.
You can hear Rob Evans there, can't you, using some Jedi tricks. Telling George Clancy we have. Didn't have. Good turnover by Glasgow. This needs to go deep inside. Scott's half if possible.
Yeah.
But here we go, let's have a look.
Number 5.
Ball pops out. I think Kruger's got it. It's off the ground.
It's my ball.
Bring it closer, Brett, bring it closer.
Big 8 minutes now, isn't it, for Glasgow? Can they get a bit of territory?
Get your numbers right.
Substitution for Scarlets, leaving the field, number 5, Steff Evans, replaced by number 19, Josh Helps.
Come on! One scrum half. He has to change his mind.
That's a slow drive here.
Hasn't changed by. Nobody changed.
Not much going on. No one splintered out.
Always bound in. 19. Always bound in.
Dobie, first introduction to the scrum half for the Scotstoun crowd, and now Rory Hughes flies one out to Kyle Stain.
Back now.
Warriors trying to produce a dramatic finish, and there have been a few over the years at Scotstoun. Long pass comes out to Chris Passaro. Good bend from him. Gets it to Hugh Jones. Is this a big moment for Hugh Jones? Gets it inside for Stafford McDowell. It's a sensational score from the Warriors. What an assist from Hugh Jones into Stafford McDowell. That was absolutely brilliant.
Unbelievable offload there by Hugh Jones. What acceleration from him as well. And the presence of mind to offload that with nothing else on. He's going into touch. It's a 50-50, but it's gone the right way.
Not on this one.
Big ball over the top. This is where the damage is done, and look at that acceleration.
What a tackle by Dan Davis, I think it was there. Cover tackle to no avail.
Just a second, please.
Yes, that's good, isn't it? His legs are off the ground. And that's a great snatch out the air as well, isn't it, by Stafford?
Yeah, Stafford McDowell, tough first half.
I can't see anything, Simon.
You know, Hugh Jones had a tough few months. He needed that. I mean, that is an audacious offload, clearly.
Okay.
But if it goes to hand, it's a worldie.
You can start again, yeah. You can
And
start
these are the sort of risks you've got to take at this stage in the game, haven't you? He's not even looked. He's just thrown it, hoping that his centre partner will read him. Boy, does he read him, Jim.
What a score from Stafford McDowell, and this has become a very, very tight game. 6 minutes on the clock. Is it going to go to 2 points? It's curling round, but not enough from Brandon Thompson. If the Warriors are to do it, they're going to have to go from 4 points down with 5.5 minutes to go.
And this is how the Warriors are dealing with the blitz defence. They're lying really deep, throwing the balls over the top, hoping to turn the Scarlets. It was a great weaving run back inside, wasn't it? And that is even better.
Number 14.
Great impetus as well from Pissarro. Good offload. Mentioned him around the breakdown when he came on. That's a good bit of skill as well.
That's what happens when you throw the balls over the top, isn't it? You start weaving back inside, you start turning defenders, looking for weak shoulders. Pissarro did really well.
Corey Baldwin on for Tom James as the 20-year-old is on for his 8th appearance. Warriors having to go from deep, having to be expansive. It's what they do so well. Kyle Stain trying to break the first 2 tackles.
Yeah, he's really come alive, hasn't he, Stain, in these last 10 minutes. We've seen a bit of ball go down his wing, making some great inroads into this Scarlets defence.
Dobie involved again. He had to wrestle for it on the floor, got the pass away.
Hands out, off your feet.
It'd be interesting to see how the Scarlets defend now. Will they come off the line hard, or will they take the safer option and start drifting? Start pushing Glasgow out wider. It's not as aggressive, but it often is a safer option.
Offside.
Really got to pin Glasgow back now, not give them an easy out.
No advantage, offside.
Warriors will have the penalty here for offside. Well, I tell you what, boys, you couldn't see this with 55 minutes on the clock.
No, you couldn't. This is the game we thought it was going to be. Half-time, we were thinking we weren't going to see many tries, and it's really opened up now. 2 teams that do naturally want to play. The defences have been on top for the majority of the game, especially the Scarlets. And now Glasgow have actually showing what they've got. I'm really pleased as well for young Jamie Dobie. He's come on at 9. Fantastic prospect, young man. He's only 18 years old.
Yeah, and only just. Merchiston Castle graduate from Inverness. And they're very excited. Dave Rennie has spoken about him being one of the most exciting prospects in Scottish rugby. Scotland under-18s captain. Made his debut in South Africa.
I mean, a good thing for the Scarlets here is that 3 points won't do for Glasgow. If Glasgow want to stand a chance of winning this game, they have to score a try.
Oh, no, that's all.
These are the moments you train for. You switch on, get everything right, you get your communication right.
So Phil Price on for the Scarlets. It's one big last effort from them. We are into the last 2.5 minutes at Scotstoun.
He's coming through the middle, he's bound in, no problem, 18, he's bound in.
And Stewart just got that away to Dobie.
Back now, back.
A few claims of holding on from the Scarlets backline, but nothing coming their way. It is going to be the grand finale. Hardy onto Nicol, who scored a late try against Ulster in pre-season to win the game.
Use it!
Different competition. This evening, though, this is the big time. This is when you need to turn up as a professional rugby player. Glasgow Warriors have advantage, but a penalty to kick at goal is no good to them. They need more than the 3 points on offer, but it might be able to put them in the corner.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? You just got to try and be squeaky clean here, haven't you? Taylor Davis gives a penalty away. And just when you think the Scarlets are in control defensively, it's slow ball, Glasgow playing off, the Scarlets are fanning out. And man for man in defence, they give a penalty away. Just allows now Thompson to try and get this ball close.
You okay?
He's been done for taking the man without the ball.
No, it's off. Okay.
It's difficult, that, isn't it? You're not sure which player the ball is going to go to from your 9. You're trying to get off the line, you're trying to make a tackle behind the gain line.
Yeah, that's what I have to.
But you've got to make sure you tackle the right person.
Brandon Thompson holds his nerve. He puts the ball as close to that 5-metre line as he could.
Take the front. Yeah, no, on the line, please.
They're about 5.5 metres out.
Close to goal, get your hands out. Hands out.
This one isn't coming out, is it? Staying right in that pack.
Just on the line.
The high risk of the Scarlets put a man up here.
Yeah, perfect.
Timing is everything now, isn't it?
Do they go with the banker ball? They do. It's Kieran McDonald that takes it. And now the drive comes from them all. Desperation stuff from the Scarlets. It's moving forward from the Warriors, but goes down. But George Clancy holds out an arm. And now it just comes to a halt. There goes the penalty. And there could be further action here taken by the referee. Scarlets are going to finish this one with 14 men because Josh McLeod is sent to the bin for collapsing that. And Callum Gibbons just having a quiet word, just making sure George Clancy knows exactly the repercussions of that.
You had that as well? You had that as well?
What a finish to this game.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, mate. This is brilliant, isn't it? It was a bit of a slow start to the game, but now it's absolutely brilliant. What a finish. What a treat for the fans here that have turned up at Scotstoun. Both teams battling to the end.
The line-up was over. You have to kick the touch.
Big moment for both teams now. Scarlets want to continue their winning form. Glasgow desperate for a win after last week's pumping against the Cheetahs.
Just in law, we'll have everything right.
This is where you've got to be really careful.
They need to kick the touch again.
If you're Scarlets, you've lost one of your best players, Josh McLeod. One of your best turnover merchants. So you'll be really cautious here. I don't imagine they're going to compete, which will mean Glasgow potentially taking it. A better ball to drive off in the middle. Kieran McLeod has been brilliant today, calling the line out there.
You can feel the nervous excitement inside Scotstoun. It just went to hand. There's anticipation from the crowd, trying to will their men over. This is what you're paid for as a professional rugby player. These big moments, be it in defence or attack. It is all going to come down to this. Glasgow Warriors were 25-9 down. They're now within 5 metres of an incredible comeback.
It looked like it's on right for Glasgow if they decide to go.
The Scarlets putting everything into the defensive effort. Likewise, the attack coming from the Warriors. Grant Stewart is the next to pick up at the back. Remember, the Scarlets with 14 men. The ball's gone loose. The Scarlets have it. They have advantage, and they will be able to take the ball here and boot it high into the Glasgow night sky and celebrate a memorable victory for the Welsh region. They had to put everything into that game. They looked home and hosed. Glasgow Warriors showed their character, but so too did the Scarlets. An incredible defensive effort from them to get them over the line. That was something else, boys.